throughout my tenure in working for various companies, I always wanted to kind of fall within the sustainability realm, right? And even though I had some sort of understanding, my understanding of the sustainability kind of sector in large was very minuscule. And I reached a point in my career where I needed something different. And if you don't push yourself, life kind of pushes you, right? So during COVID, I got retrenched at my engineering consultancy firm. And even though I had other offers to kind of fall within the same paradigm, I kind of just backed myself and I said, I kind of have to stick to my values and kind of move in that direction. And then I just bit the bullet and enrolled in the sustainability, the PGDip Sustainable Development course within Stellenbosch University. Not only do you come away with a different perspective, but you have learned through feeling, you know, and I think that was a very important kind of element within this course, because not only do you learn through feeling, but it also alters your worldview and value system, you know, and to take that forward and teach other people through feeling instead of just speaking to them and hoping that they get the idea that you're talking about. I think that was very important. For me, it was how much time and effort the facilitators and coordinators took to plan the courses so that each module that you're doing, they're all interconnected in one way or the other, right? And how much time they took to kind of make you feel while you're in class or while you kind of like crossing paths with people that's practicing, or just the layman in the streets story that they've added into your coursework, you know. And I think that was so important because it was a continual learning through feeling in every model that you basically did. You kind of get the theory, you know, but they're not only pushing that theory down your throat, they're telling you like, this is the theory, but now we're going to show you how it like works in the real world, you know. And I think that was very valuable, so that you got not only all this academic theories, but in practice, in the juxtaposition of that in the real world. Is it able to kind of be read or done in the real world? How does it like work? And sometimes there's conflicting ideas, but it's that conflicting ideas that makes you kind of think about it in a deeper level and how you want to show up in your kind of space, you know, as a change agent. If there's one specific moment that I can kind of pull from what we did at coursework, it was one of the modules, and it was all about organizing and building effective teams, you know, and how you operate in that space. And the normative kind of view is that you basically bark orders and people need to kind of just follow suit, you know. And it's small kind of instances like that where it's about building effective teams, listening before speaking, you know, arranging that everybody kind of has a voice and kind of builds this thing together, you know. And I think small little instances like that are within each and every module. So it's not necessarily one specific thing. I think it's each and every module you're working with people in your group projects, and you're able to kind of build those connections, able to kind of practice some project management skills with people, working within the team. All of those things are vital, you know, especially where there's such an array of different people. And that's the beautiful thing about the course as well, is that You have people who are fresh out of university, starting the university or the postgrad, doing this postgrad, right? Then you get people on the other side of the spectrum who are operating within the professional dynamic. It's a beautiful course for both. I would say the older, more experienced personalities, and even younger ones, because it's a beautiful course between old and young, male and female, different kind of gender kind of views, you know. And not only does the young learn from the old, but the old learn from the young. Like I remember, like, because I was a bit older than a lot of the students, because it's a beautiful mix. And sometimes you learn what is kind of relative right now in society, how to kind of operate within that sphere, because even though we don't kind of see it sometimes, you know, the different generations operate differently, and I think it just gives you perspective on how not only the coursework in its entirety, but also how to operate within that sphere, dealing with younger generations, their kind of strengths and weaknesses, older generation, their strengths and weaknesses, and basically kind of finding some sort of interconnectedness between the two, you know, and intertwining the skills, and that transdisciplinary kind of way of thinking comes into play. In my personal capacity, I've spoken to a few people already who have, one, approached me either in person or on LinkedIn or something of that sort, and asking me some advice about the course. And it's really life-changing. As I've previously mentioned, just the learning by feeling and kind of like aligning your values to something. And on that path, you basically meet fantastic people that do the course with you. You get to kind of share the space. And additionally, like you run into some fantastic professionals who, like Mark Swelling, oh my God, like Edgar Peterson, sorry. So there's just like these fantastic people who are world renowned in what they do. And not only that, you get to kind of meet people who are change agents within whatever domain they're in. You know, each module kind of you rubbing shoulders against people who are practicing. So in the same breath, you kind of get to network, you know. And if you're a fresh face, if you're looking for something to kind of start off and go into a new direction in your career, there are people that you basically can rub shoulders with that can put you in the right spaces.